Leg day warm-up. Single leg glute hip raise. Heel is underneath the knee. Lift and raise your hip, pressing through the heel. Try and squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips high into the sky. This is stretching out and warming up your hip flexors, glutes, and hamstrings. Notice that his lower back is never touching the floor and he's lifting up through his heel. Set 1, starting off with a bang, squats. Get the heavy, most powerful movement out of the way first. Rack the weight, loading it on the meatier part of your back. Bringing the weight back, your heels are just outside of your hips, pushing your hips way back into your heels, pressing up through the heels, squeeze your glutes. What you're looking for here is trying to get your thighs parallel to the floor. Make sure those knees never ever go over the toe. That's the most important thing in a squat. Push back your hips as low as they can go and squeeze the glutes, keeping the chest up and abs braced and tight. Moving into a walking lunge. A walking lunge can be with dumbbells or a barbell on your back. Here I'm using kettlebells. What you want to do is make sure you're taking a big step forward so that your front thigh is parallel to the floor and you're bending through the back knee. When you step together, bring your feet together so that way each lunge is a good nice lunge, keeping the shoulders over the hips as well, chest up and proud, abs braced and tight. For extra credit, you can always add in a leg lift. So it's a lunge and leg lift. What this is now doing is working more of the lower back and top of your glute. But still keep sure that lunge is good, shoulders over hips, and leaning forward, lengthening that back leg. Big steps, people, big steps. Single leg press. What this is doing is basically isolating each part of your leg so that your dominant leg does not take over. Super important to mix this up with your squats. On this movement, make sure you're pressing through the heel. Notice that when he bends his knee back, his knee never goes over the toe here either. Your thigh is getting now parallel to the floor, creating a 90-degree angle. Make sure you have that 90-degree angle, so correct your foot placement. We follow that up with the calf raise on that same machine, where now that you're hanging your heels off the calf raise, making sure the arch of your foot is on the platform. Pointing the toes and then flexing the heel so you feel that stretch. Make sure you flex the heel, feeling the stretch, and then point the toes. You can do this a couple ways. You can do this inverted, where your toes are in, or out, where your toes are facing out. All working different parts of your calves. Pick and choose, mix it up, always, never doing the same thing twice. Set 3, let's go. Starting off with a power movement, a deadlift. Every woman's great exercise for the back of the butt, creating a good little butt cheek. So what you want to do is grab the barbell, you're tipping over at the hip, leading with the chest, making sure that there's no curve of the back. The bar should literally be skimming the top of your legs as you push your hips way back, feeling the stretch in the back of your legs. When you come up, stand tall so that the shoulders are over the hips and belly is braced and tight. My grip here, I've got one hand over and one hand under. Feel that stretch. Inner and outer thigh. We do this on a sumo squat. With that 1-inch lift, now what you're going to do is get more deeper into the inner and outer thigh. Keeping the shoulders over the hips, sink straight down, kind of like you're doing a plie. So that means that your toes point out, so that way your kneecap goes along with the big toe. Make sure that you have a nice wide stance here. Set 4, last little bit, leg extension. When you get into the leg extension machine, make sure first that the kneecap is over the pad and also the lower back is pressing into the back pad. When you kick your feet up with your toes up towards the air with a flexed foot. When you bring your heels back down, you want to have your toes disappear underneath. Kick straight up, flexing, but never locking the kneecaps. Heels disappear, extend, squeeze the quad. Nice even movement, not bouncy. Hamstring curl, the back of the leg. Same things apply. Lower back is intact. Knees are hanging off the back pad. Now I'm flexing my feet and kicking my heels towards my butt. You want to think of this movement like a bicep curl for the back of your legs. Keeping the feet flexed. Squeeze the back of the legs, staying forward, back pressing the lower back. And that will finish out the entire leg. Quads, hamstrings, calves, inner and outer thigh, everything. Good work. Now go refuel. Get your Herbalife protein shake and have an electric day, people.